Right, Enda, thank you for coming.
Thanks
I
for having
appreciate
me.
it.
I appreciate it.
Do you want to give the people just a brief introduction of you and what you do?
So, my name's Enda, football and primary school teacher, double jobbing at the minute, so playing football up in Dundalk and then working part-time as a primary school teacher in South Dublin. So, full on, but I love what I'm doing.
Take me back to like 10 weeks ago, before you joined. What were kind of some of the things that you were dealing with?
I think I was finding it hard with the kind of full-time football and full-time teaching at the same time. We were just coming out of summer, so I knew we were going back to school. Training during the summer was fine. We're in Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. You have nothing to worry about in the morning. I'd work some weeks doing camps or just whatever was on. But then found school, came back, and I just kind of, like other lads have said, I had no time. I was up at 8, you go to school, you're working till 2:30, on the road from 2:30 straight up to Dundalk, get home at about 10:30. And then you get into bed at 10:30, like not even getting into bed, you know what I mean? So I just found I was just going round and round, a bit of a hamster wheel. So just looking for a bit of guidance and direction is kind of what we went with.
And you think that's what kind of made you join? That's kind of what pushed it over the edge a little bit, just that?
Yeah, it was always something that I kind of knew. I feel like I had the answers myself. I knew what I needed to do and I knew what I wanted to do, but I just needed someone to kind of stand over my shoulders, like get that push and some bounce off, like ideas off. So
I think there's been a massive transformation in you in the last 10 weeks. Like I think if we look back to the end of way back when compared to now, so much has changed within just you and you just being aware of kind of the goal and what is required to actually get there. You know,
definitely.
Over the past couple of weeks, what would you say was some of the kind of biggest realizations that you had, the biggest kind of wake up moments?
It was kind of just really shifted my mindset. Like I've always thought I was decent enough, do you know what I mean? But like I never really had that like confidence.
Come on,
you know what I mean? I never really had that confidence in myself, and even outside of football, like I feel like I'm a loud person, but sometimes I'm a bit like unsure of what's going on. So kind of switching the mindset of like what I've done, what I'm able to do, and kind of just switching even a situation is like, what can you control? I found myself worrying about things that I had absolutely no control over. And no matter how much I thought about it or tried to do it, nothing was going to change the fact that I couldn't control it. So I think when we kind of stripped it back to controlling what we can do and what I can actually do, even breaking it down to hours, days, training sessions, I find like that gave me a lot of peace with everything that was going on. So kind of breaking everything down was really important. I think that was, when I started doing that, I kind of realised like, all right, we can kick on to something here, do you know what I mean?
I definitely think that, especially when, let's say you're coming in out of the team and the gaffer is picking the team and you're stressing over the fact that he has to pick the team, when in reality the only thing that you should worry about or think about is the session before and is when you get on the pitch is performing.
Exactly. What can you do?
What can you
you're out there for 2 hours, you give everything you can, you're wrecked after, then you start looking at your recovery properly, start looking at your food, your sleep. That's kind of something we're really tackling, we're still tackling, do you know what I mean? So I think it was small things like that actually I found made such a difference.
Yeah, I think definitely the food and you know, you even just became more aware of food and the fact that, you know, maybe you couldn't relate, I'm extremely tired and I didn't train well, to the fact that you didn't sleep and then you didn't eat well.
Tank was empty.
Right, exactly. Tank was empty. So after a little bit of time, we got to that stage where you were like, well, when I actually eat the calories that I need to, my training was better. And then again, like when you understand that, you know, if your goal is to go further in the game, I know what I need to do. You know what I mean? And I definitely think, man, it was so good to see that, and it was so, obviously I could see your food and your calories and stuff like that. And those weeks where we were smashing everything was so cool to see. And I'm obviously very proud of you for it, because it did take a lot. And
and there was a lot of conversations we had, and you were like, what do you need from me? And I was kind of like, just be an arse. Just stay on me, just tell me, just like, that's all I felt I needed. It's not like dependent on someone, but it's kind of having that someone in your corner where you're like, no matter, like, we're going to be mates at the end of the day, but you're also going to come after me when I need it. And I feel like that's what's going to get the best out of me. So
I think every now and again, your coach has to give you a kick up the arse. Like, you know what I mean? I think there is a point where, you know, because there was time, I think there's more times when there was an arm around the shoulder than the kick up the arse. And I think having both
Yeah.
so important. And I think knowing when and or like let's say when to push and when to pull.
Yeah.
Because I think and obviously I can read you as well
Yeah.
quite well, and I know when, all right, yeah, we need to fucking come on with the calories.
Yeah.
But then I also know when there was tough times there
Yeah.
was an arm around the shoulder, and there was, you know, it's all right, and this shit happens. And like we had many setbacks, especially we were coming to the end of the season, we had lots of setbacks, and that's only natural.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a big goal, it's only natural that these setbacks are actually going to happen, and they're going to continue to happen. And the fact that you got out of them and you learned what you needed to learn from them was so important.
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
Like to me, that's one of the greatest things, like as a coach or as a friend, to be able to see that transformation in you.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy how the before and after photos don't really tell the whole story.
No.
And I think
There is a bit of size there. There is exercise, but now and exactly what you mean. It's for me. It's not being as much physical as much, or it's more mental for me. You know what I mean?
And I think that's the beauty in, like, let's say this conversation. People are going to be able to understand. Like, yeah, we could post it side by side, and you're going to look the exact same, but there's actually two different humans.
Yeah.
In the post, and like it's crazy how like it's just like coaches focus solely on transformation photos.
Yeah.
And we don't really do that, because I don't think there's been more of a transformation up here over the past 10 weeks than physical. And like I said, I'm extremely proud of you for it.
Appreciate it.
If there was someone who's sitting on the fence, someone who's, let's say they have a big goal, they know they want to achieve something, and they know they're meant for more, maybe they've started a business, or maybe they're playing at the same level as you, or maybe just below, and they want to achieve something, what would you say to them?
I think the important thing is getting support, but getting it in the right way. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're never going to make it alone, no matter what anyone says. In any sport, even if it's an individual sport, there's people behind. You know, being a goalkeeper can feel like an individual sport at times, but that's why you have to have the right people around you. People who understand it, like yourself. You've been in football long enough. You've been here, you've been in the States. You understand football across the world, do you know what I mean? But you've also been in the change rooms. You understand what the other side of it is like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, for people who are on the fence, I just say you need to have a look in the mirror and be like, right, is this what I want to do? Because I think we had that conversation where I was like, right, is this what I want to do? I love teaching. It's great, but the reason I went to college was to give myself the fallback of, right, if football doesn't work, I can have another job that I'm still going to teach till whenever, do you know what I mean? And I was like, right, I want to be a footballer. What is the next step? The next step is getting support. Then we're looking at food, we're looking at sleep. So I was like, right, is this really what you want to do? That's what I would say to anyone. Like, if this is something you want to do, it doesn't have to be football. It can be absolutely anything. Do you know what I mean? If you're serious about it and you really want to go for it, then the first thing you need to do is reach out, right, how can I get stronger?
I think, like, if you don't want to achieve the goal, that's fine.
Yeah,
you know what
completely.
I mean? There's
like,
no
some people are gonna, no, that's the other thing. Some people are absolutely happy, like, personally I couldn't play Sunday League. But like, if boys are happy playing, if boys are happy playing Sunday League, and that makes it, like, it's what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're sat there and you're content, there's still more.
You do you.
Yeah.
But like you said, there is still more.
Yeah.
And maybe it takes just a little bit of questioning.
Yeah.
A little bit of probing.
Someone needs to poke you. Yeah.
Well, I'm renowned for now.
Poking, to be fair, yeah.
But no, I think definitely, like, the last 10 weeks has been very important, I feel like, in your career. Obviously you've already had a relatively decent career, and I think it's going to continue because of not just what we've done the last 10 weeks, but I feel like we've almost condensed the last couple of years into a 10-week little program.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that I probably hadn't thought about, hadn't dealt with, or something I didn't appreciate at the time that I look back now, I was like, you're doing all right there, kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, give yourself a bit of credit and now use that again.
Yeah.
So I think it's mad that it's 10 weeks, and even, like, for people, it doesn't have to be a massive thing. Like, just give 10 weeks and just see.
It's not a lot of time, really, is it?
No, like, it doesn't feel like 10 weeks ago I was here with the screen and that way. And even in the screen, we'll be seeing so many things that you wouldn't really see unless you had that kind of exposure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely just 10 weeks is, in the grand scheme of things, it's no time at all. Do you know what I mean? And it's a good investment in 10 weeks into yourself, and then you use what you learn. Just because you use it for 10 weeks doesn't mean you just ship it off tomorrow. Do you know what I mean?
Stick
Using that, you know what I mean? No matter where you are. Like.
Legend. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother.
Great chat.
Time for a
Thank you,
haircut, yeah.